It's all about location and the light, this particular spot that I come to. And I drive past this area so often, it's not funny, but it's because it's one of the roads that gets me to places. So I always look at this spot when I drive past, and something is happening here, and more often it's the light. So I can only come here in the mornings for what I'm after. And it's interesting because the fog is amazing here. There's not a lot of animals, but there are the kangaroos, and you will see a lot of my kangaroo shots that I put up are from this spot. As you can see, it's an open paddock and it's very dry at the moment, but different times of the year, particularly in spring, you get the flowers. They're weeds, but they look beautiful when I photograph the kangaroos in them. Don't always get the kangaroos because they do come out and feed here, but often they will hang right back. So everything has to come together for me when I'm going to do it. So it's not a spot where I say, come and shoot, you'll get the kangaroos for sure, and you'll get beautiful light, because it doesn't work like that. But it's a spot that I watch and I will come to it quite regularly. And, I had a magical time here. I think it was around May in 2024, and the kangaroos were out in the paddock and there was fog. They were off in the distance, but I was able to use them in my photos, and you will see some will pop up here. And those bank of trees right at the back there, the sun's up in the sky there. So I'm photographing it coming up, and there's beautiful colour from the sun, and then you've got the fog. So it's beautiful, and I practice a lot of my photography here at different times. One of the things is the flowers that come up here are just weeds. They're just this yellow colour, and it just adds another dimension to my photos. But I always do the backlight here because it's the morning spot, and that's when I get the fog. And in the evenings, the sun is on the other side, and it's just not as nice because it goes down and there's a lot of stuff behind that will block it. So it doesn't work for me. There's huge shadows across and everything like that. So, but in the morning, beautiful spot. So what am I trying to tell you here? I'm telling you that when you're around driving, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in suburbia, look, keep a lookout, because you just never know what you will see and what animal or bird you will see in that area. Because if you happen to see something there, it might be there all the time. And you just work out the light, and if it's either a morning or afternoon place, and that might be a good spot for you to come and practice. It's not far from home or whatever. So, yeah, just don't give up. When I came on this particular morning, there was fog around and it was filtering the light, so it was really pretty. I just noticed how the rays were coming through the tree. I put the drone up. The sun had been up for an hour, but there was so much fog around and it was filtering the light. So, and there was still colour, and it was coming through the trees. So it didn't matter how high the drone was, I was still getting that beautiful light. As you can see, this is the fence, so I need to consider that when I'm shooting. And fortunately, there's a gap through the wire fence, and it's very interesting shooting. You just got, and you can see there's a little bit of weed along here. Sometimes different spots, there's a lot more. And what I'll do is sometimes I'll shoot through that to try and bring a bit of softness into the image from the foreground, and that can work a treat. The only thing that you have to watch out when you're doing that, and I've got caught out with this, is where the softness of the foliage in front of me, or the dry grass or whatever, has actually gone out of focus across the bird, and that can be a bit of a pain. So it's not easy to see, but you just got to watch that. Sometimes I'll just push my lens through the foliage a bit more so that I know I'm not going to get it. But it's a beautiful way of shooting, using your foreground to go out of focus when you're doing this type of shooting. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And another thing that I encourage you to do is to make sure you check your images when you get home and just don't delete the ones that didn't work. I usually keep a few and I'll look at them in great detail and see where I went wrong, whether my shutter speed was too slow, or if my focus was missed, or if there was something in the environment that caused an issue and spoilt my photo. And it's all about learning as you go. And yeah, just don't be too hard on yourself. Just get out there and just keep trying. And also, what you need to do is always be watching and don't disregard your local areas. Some of those spots will shine at different times of the year, and there will be different birds there or something, or the light really is beautiful when some certain conditions come into effect. Like here, this one here is, like I said, I could go past here a month every day and nothing's happening, and then one day I go past and something is happening. There's fog and the kangaroos are out, and I can do my beautiful backlight if I want to try that. So yeah, so just it's all about persistence and it's about patience. And this little girl, she is very patient, because what she does every morning, she asks to come out with me. She sits on me and she gets in the way and she jumps and everything. And sometimes I take her, but it's not very often I can take her, but she gets lots of walks. So